Well, thank you for having me on this large scale of presentations. My topic today is the importance of nutrigenomics in chronic diseases and in prevention in cardiovascular disease. And first of all, of course, I'm going to just describe to that. Recently I have established lab, which is called Human Health Assessment and Nutrigenomics Lab, which is fairly new. And also I have had a couple of grants, which is a USDA grant, which includes the United States of Department of Agriculture and National Institute of Food and Agriculture. And that particular, those two grants, I'm so thankful for those grants and funding agency who give me opportunity to present this particular research work. And I'm based on Dayton, Ohio, which is Central State University, Agriculture Research Development Department program, and it's in the United States. As you all probably know that, this particular thing, for example, what we eat today impacts our gene, and also it has some correlation between how the gene and nutrition that we take is impacting us. So my background and aim basically is that chronic diseases, for example, it also does affect minority populations, and disproportionately means that it is not very well defined that how it affects that. And also the nutrigenomics offers actually is called personalized or precision nutrition. And that is based on the genomic profiles. And so our basic goal is to how to develop a gene-driven strategies so we can provide and also prevent the disease and promote the optimal health. So I'm going to talk about really shortly about nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics is the study of how genes interact with the dietary factors, and also want to understand what is the relationship between these variants which is present in genes, and also what are the nutrient responses, and also in enabling the personalized dietary recommendation once we find out about genomic nutritional markers, and then we can design and we can actually analyze that and find out exactly what is the best suit for the particular person. Now, as you can see there, I'm going to give you some little short type, examples of that. What is the nutrigenomics, by the way? The nutrigenomics is actually the study of how food components, which influence the gene expression, and also individual genetic variations that affect the metabolism of nutrients. And also the concept basically about gene diet interactions. As you all probably know that food is of essential importance. And what is the role, of course, in the, I'm going to talk to you about three major diseases, although we are talking about cardiovascular disease as well. But in general, if you see type 2 diabetes also is very, very common, and also the obesity. And these things I'm going to give you just an example of that. For example, in role of in a role of nutrigenomics in type 2 diabetes basically is also involved, such as, for example, deficiency of chromium, fiber, omega-3 fatty acids, cinnamon, or magnesium. These are the essential things that are required. Now, for example, our basic thing is so nutrigenomic studies also shows how how the cardiovascular diseases are also are affected. And as we all know, we are talking about the cardiovascular diseases. They are one of the leading causes of death, which is globally. And the dietary factors are critical in this development and prevention of cardiovascular disease as well. Now, before I start about that, and I'm sure we will have some general population as well, where they do have different topics about that, and we all probably know that what is the genome, what is the chromosome, what is the genes, what is the nucleotides, and what is the genetics. And ideally, genetics does play a fundamental role in the development of organism by determination of characteristics and traits that are passed down from the generation to generation. And those genetic information of an organism is basically stored in the DNA, which contains the instructions for synthesis of the proteins and other molecules that are necessary for our, our development of the body, right? Okay. So again, I'm going to go emphasize on that in the level of, with the level of, genomic profile, and what exactly is the nutrigenomics. Okay, everybody okay? Everybody's able to hear me properly? Is everybody able to hear me properly?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I wasn't I was lost a little bit because I kept on calling and, but anyways, so let's go talk about these nutrigenomics, the in details, right? So nutrigenomics is a study, of course, as I said, how the food components influence the gene expression and how the variation of these genes affect the nutrient metabolism and also the interaction of these nutrients and the genes and how they go beyond that. So as you can see on the side in the screen right here is how the DNA has the implication of adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine, and also how they're interacting and how their DNA molecule is there. Now, if you see in this my diagram here, in nutrition, of course, if you can see here how the genome, chromosomes, and the cells, how they're integrated into it. And in early 2000, the intersection of nutrition and genomics, which is Human Genome Project, in year 2003, and then it came the late 2000. Personalized nutrition was a big buzzword at that time, and then also the technology started to come into practice, and also the public health implications year 2020. And my grant was accepted in 2022 to provide these information on nutrigenomics and nutrigenetics and see how it will impact in prevention of diabetes, obesity, and other associated disease. Now, if the Human Genome Project was already developed, as I mentioned before, and I'm sure you probably have this information. Okay. Now, Human Genome Project and the nutrigenomics. What is the actual relationship between these things? Now, if you take a human genome and you see health and disease status and the gene expression and also environmental factors, we all know that the genetic pattern is, of course, very essential, but at the same time, environmental factors and the kind of nutrient foods we eat and what is our nutritional recommendation that we do that impacts the body and also goes towards the direction of some disease which we don't even have a control over. Stress is also one of the leading factors, in addition to environmental factors, that basically tells you about that how these in diseases can be affected. Now, again, I'm going to go deep into that as well, calling that genome. I did explain about genome, right? So DNA, genome, and 25,000 genes. Now, we as a researcher, we detect about 4,000 genes, which are in our laboratory, which we have a company called RxPredict, where we outsource our company, to those companies where they analyze our data. Now, if you see here in this case here, this the RNA transcription regulation, as well as protein and also the metabolomics have all those internal relationship in terms of creating precision nutrition. Now, the our laboratory, place where we are currently right now, human health assessment and nutrigenomics lab, we do discover or we do analyze body composition analysis and also the biochemical profiles of and also genomic profiles of individual person, and it includes about 4,000 genes that are detected. And also, after we analyze that, it is basically gives you different profiles of each individual based on their genomic nutritional markers. Now I'm going to talk about like a key genetic variants in cardiovascular risks. For example, the gene APOE impacts the lipid metabolism and cholesterol regulation. MTHF alters the folate metabolism and influence homocysteine levels. And I'm sure you probably are aware of that, how the homocysteine levels in the body has to be maintained, and that is also very deadly. FTO associated obesity and fat metabolism that also impacts our cardiovascular disease as well. PCSK9 regulates about LDL cholesterol levels, and these are also very essential in the sense because of the fact that they are already present in our body. Now, what are the things that we can roll in cardiovascular disease prevention? There are certain genes called lipid metabolism genes that called APOE, PCSK9, and there are some inflammatory markers, and those are genes called interleukin 6 and natural factors KB, blood pressure, ACE and AGT, and also the omega 3s, coenzyme Q, potassium, and all of these things are impacting our cardiovascular disease as well. Now, cardiovascular disease remains the leading cause of global mortality, and it accounts for more than nearly 18 million deaths per year. And I'm talking this statistics in United States, and I have not had a global, statistics at this point. So I apologize for that. So nutrigenomics will explore how genetic variation influences these individual responses to diet and nutrients. Okay. All right. So precision nutrition offers, of course, innovative strategies to prevent and manage cardiovascular more effectively. And nutrients, influencing cardiovascular health, which will be omega-3 fatty acids, and that is basically it reduces our, which is in fact anti-inflammatory. B vitamins can help in lower the homocysteine level and protect vascular health, and also polyphenols and antioxidants that can prevent your endothelial support, and dietary fibers improves the lipid profile and reduce the cardiovascular disease. Nutrients also can operate about protective genes like antioxidants, for example, enzymes like the SOD, which is the oxidase mutase enzymes, also downregulation of pro-inflammatory gene, which can lower the CVD or cardiovascular risk. Genetic tests can also have their implication on personalized dietary recommendations. And I would definitely give these indications that the tailored intervention that can address lipid disorders, hypertension, and the obesity, which includes the prevention of cardiovascular disease. And on the public health perspective, population level genomic screening can also guide the dietary guidelines, and also integration of nutrigenomics into the nutrition policies can in fact help in prevention. In fact, preventing strategies can reduce healthcare burden and cost. But challenges are always going to be there because high cost and limited accessibility of genetic testing, and also the need for long-term nutrigenomics clinical studies, which is still under consideration. And in conclusion, I can tell you that nutrigenomics will provide powerful insight for CVD prevention and management, and personalized diets based on genomic profiles can improve the patient's outcomes. And in the future directions, integration of nutrigenomics into mainstream clinical practice and global public health policy will be a time. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me.